All right, so today we're really diving deep into the world of experiential marketing.
Yeah, it's a lot more than just your average billboards and jingles.
Right, we're talking full-blown immersive experiences. And lucky for us, we've got a ton of info here on Dominique Taylor, someone who's made a serious name for himself in this field.
And what's interesting is that Dominique's not your typical marketing guru, stuck behind a desk all day. This is someone who gets his hands dirty, knows how to make things happen on the ground.
Totally. You don't rack up over 15 years in this industry working with giants like Coca-Cola, Verizon, even the U.S. Army without knowing how to deliver.
Exactly. And when you look at his background, it's clear this isn't just about dreaming up catchy slogans. We're talking managing huge events, leading teams of like 30-plus people. He even has a CDL Class A license.
Wait, seriously, a CDL. So this marketing mastermind can also drive a semi-truck.
You got it.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. I mean, we're just getting started, and this is already way more interesting than I expected.
Right. And I think it speaks volumes about the kind of experience he brings to the table.
For sure. Because experiential marketing isn't just about a cool concept. It's about dealing with all those logistical nightmares. Permits, transportation, coordinating a million moving parts.
And probably knowing how to think on your feet when things inevitably go wrong, which, let's be real, happens all the time in this line of work.
Absolutely. But going back to Dominique, what really stands out to me is his passion for technology.
Totally. He's on top of all the latest and greatest, especially when it comes to stuff like 3D printing and VR. But he's not just dabbling. He's figuring out how to use these technologies to completely revolutionize what experiential marketing can be.
Okay, now that's fascinating and honestly something I don't fully grasp, so you're going to have to break that down for me.
Yeah.
What happens when you combine cutting-edge technology with real-world brand experiences? Give me an example.
Okay, picture this. You're at a music festival, right? And instead of just some dude handing you a flyer, there's this booth.
All right, I'm listening.
And Dominique, being the tech wizard that he is, has set up this insane VR experience that ties directly into the brand.
So we're talking full-on Ready Player One stuff.
Basically, it's about taking those whoa moments you get in the digital world and making them tangible, shareable, real. And from everything we're seeing, that's where Dominique truly excels.
He sees the potential, the bigger picture,
Yeah.
where others might just see a gimmick.
Exactly.
So it's not just about understanding tech, it's about knowing how to use it in a way that actually means something to people.
100%.
And it's not just about, blowing people's minds with the tech either. It's got to connect on a deeper level.
Right. Gotta have that human element.
Exactly. And this is where I think Dominique's background in hospitality and tourism management is really interesting.
Oh, totally. At first glance, that bit about him going to Florida Atlantic University might seem kind of random.
Yeah, like a detour on his resume or something.
But it actually makes perfect sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because what is hospitality at its core?
It's about taking care of people, making them feel welcome.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Anticipating their needs, creating those experiences that exceed expectations.
It's about making someone feel seen, even if it's just a quick interaction.
And when you combine that with, like we said, his logistical skills and his passion for pushing boundaries,
You've got someone pretty special.
for sure, someone who can truly bring a vision to life.
And speaking of visions, can we talk about PrintNest for a second?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm curious to hear your take on this because on the one hand, it seems like a cool side hustle, but on the other hand, it feels like it's totally in line with his whole approach to experiential marketing.
I totally agree. I mean, we could have just skimmed over that line in his bio about enjoying 3D printing as a hobby.
Right, like, oh, that's neat. He likes to tinker.
But the fact that he went and started his own company based around it, that's huge.
Shows serious initiative. This isn't someone who just talks about ideas. He takes action.
Exactly. And think about the possibilities. Imagine you're at a product launch, right? And not only do you get to experience the product firsthand, but then you walk away with a personalized 3D printed memento that Dominique whipped up right there on the spot.
That's next level.
Right. Talk about memorable.
Okay, so we've established that Dominique has the experience, the drive, the technical chops, and the entrepreneurial spirit. But there's one more thing that really struck me.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
It's something he said himself.
Oh, I love a good quote.
He said that what he loves most about this line of work is that there's always something new to learn.
And you can't fake that kind of enthusiasm.
You can't. It comes through.
100%. It's one thing to have an impressive resume, right?
Totally.
But it's another thing entirely to have that genuine thirst for knowledge, that desire to constantly push the boundaries, to learn and grow.
And that energy, that passion is contagious.
Absolutely,
It
yeah.
sets the tone for everyone around him.
And it speaks to a larger point about where the working world is headed, you know?
Yeah.
We're moving away from those traditional career paths where you specialize in one thing and that's it.
Right, like you find your lane and stay in it.
Exactly. These days, it's all about being adaptable, being a lifelong learner.
So you're saying Dominique's like a prime example of how to succeed in this new world of work.
100%. He's not intimidated by new things. He embraces them.
And in a field like experiential marketing, that's crucial.
Absolutely. Things change so fast, you got to be able to adapt.
Listener, we've thrown a ton of information at them about Dominique's background, his skills, his
Right,
passions.
but what's the takeaway? Why should they care?
Exactly. It's like he's picked up all these different skills and passions along the way, and instead of, keeping them separate, he's found a way to weave them together into something totally unique.
And that's such an important point. We often think about career growth as this straight line, but Dominique's journey shows us it can be way more, I don't know, more like connecting the dots in a constellation.
And sometimes those dots seem totally random,
Right.
right? Like, who would have thought that a background in hospitality would be so relevant to tech-driven marketing? But somehow Dominique makes it work.
It's about being open to those unexpected connections. Like, oh, wow, this thing I learned over here actually gives me a whole new perspective on this thing over here.
It's like that saying, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And I think Dominique really embodies that. He's not afraid to ask questions, try new things, and that's how he keeps moving forward.
Totally. And it ties into another thing we see with Dominique. He's all about hands-on experience. He could have easily just stuck with a cushy marketing job, but he chose to get his CDL to really understand the logistics firsthand.
It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. And that's something anyone listening can do.
100%. No matter what you do, there's always an opportunity to learn by doing.
To roll up your sleeves and get a little bit messy.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to try new things, take on challenges.
Embrace that learner's mindset.
Yeah.
And like you said before, it's not about knowledge for the sake of knowledge.
It's about putting it into practice.
Using it to make a real impact, to solve problems, to create something new.
Absolutely.
Which brings us back to something Dominic mentioned about why someone would want to hire him. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty, to be a true team player.
Yeah, he even said he's happy to be a brand ambassador, which is really saying something.
It is. It shows he's not just in it for himself. He wants to contribute, to be part of a team. And that's huge.
It is. It's that kind of attitude that makes all the difference.
So as we wrap up here, I want to leave our listeners with this. What if we all approached our work, our lives even, with a little bit of Dominique's enthusiasm? His passion for learning, for creating, for connecting with people.
It's an interesting question.
It is. Imagine what we could accomplish if we all embraced that mindset.
Because at the end of the day, Dominique's story reminds us that success isn't just about what you know, it's about who you are and how you show up in the world.
Well said. And if you're as fascinated by Dominique's journey as we are, we've included a link to his LinkedIn in the show notes.
Definitely worth checking out.
Who knows, maybe you'll be inspired to shake things up in your own career.
Or even launch your own print nest.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless when you embrace curiosity and a willingness to learn. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep diving deep.